The local government unit of the Directorate of Outdoor Promotion and Management of the Independent Campaign Council, under the leadership of Mr. Tayo Ayinde, Chief of Staff to the Executive Governor of Lagos State and Director General of the Independent Campaign Council, has appointed Comrade Ayodele Adewale as the Director of Outdoor Promotion and Management across 374 local government ward units ahead of the presidential and governorship elections. Comrade Ayodele Adewale's appointment is coming at a time when opposition parties in Lagos State are complaining and accusing the ruling APC of denying them a level playing ground to accomplish their 2023 election ambition. According to the opposition parties, the ruling APC continues to undermine their campaigns through destruction of their banners and posters, attacks by hoodlums, intimidation of supporters, and stopping them from using billboards. However, the APC has dismissed these allegations, saying it does not need any form of manipulation and negative schemes to retain the state it has been ruling since 1999. Joining us now on the show is the newly appointed Director of Outdoor Promotion and Management across 374 local government ward units in Lagos State, and also the APC State Organizing Secretary, Lagos State Chapter, and Secretary, APC Presidential Campaign Council Special Duties too. Good morning, Comrade.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Comrade, congratulations, I guess, will be in order with your appointment as the man in charge of outdoor promotion and campaigns in Lagos State. And we hope that, we'll see some difference. But before we get to that, let's start off with the subject we discussed before you joined us, which is the statement made by the presidential candidate of your party in Abeokuta yesterday, accusing the powers that be, the only powers that be at this moment are the people in Abuja, the APC ruling government, of using Naira redesign and fuel scarcity to sabotage his campaign. This is a case of the APC candidate attacking his own party and the government of his own party that he helped to bring, as he claims, to fruition in 2015 and 2019. How do you feel as a member of that party, considering the fact that all the other political parties have moved in? PDP is now ironically defending President Buhari. Labour Party is now defending President Buhari. He's just the APC candidate that is condemning his own president. Would you like to address the question?
I would not see it from a standpoint of condemnation, but I will see it from
the point of view of innuendo in law. There's something called innuendo. If you say it's not
there is no innuendo about it. It only shows that APC is a very democratic party. Okay. It allows freedom of speech, freedom of thought, and it allows people to put out whatever they feel it's right to be put out. And the presidential candidate of the APC have only expressed his views as a democratic personality and a freedom fighter. Basically, you cannot remove any hiccup in any system. And beyond that, Nigerians also have complained that the policy is not totally people-friendly and that there should be some level of laxity within that policy. And I've also heard on your program that, especially in the far north, where you have some little security issues where banks are not really operational, that a lot of people have complained that the non-availability of this banking presence will also create problems for them if we stick stricto sensu to the CBN rules. And I'm also using this platform to appeal to the CBN governor to extend the date a bit, especially for all Nigerians to be moved into the dragnet.
All right. I mean, we'll go into, I have two questions, just following up on what Dr. asked you with regards to the freedom of expression that has been demonstrated by the APC through your presidential candidate's speech, or yesterday in Abeokuta. Do you not think that since your presidential candidate belongs to the same party as the president, he didn't have to come out to criticize one of his policies, rather than could it not have been in intra-party, where he could, a telephone call would do, a conversation, party meetings would have done. It seemed like an opposition party speaking against the ruling party. However, it's the same party that was speaking to the other. And then just so I speak to you based on the conversation of today, I'd like to ask you as to the merits from other parties accusing the ruling party in Lagos State of, pulling down their posters, putting up obstruction to them advertising, outdoors.
You see, the APC does not operate within a secret society system or dealings or operational guidance, as the case may be. It's a full-fledged democratic institution, and it allows for members not just to speak within, members should also speak outside of the system in order to carry everybody forward. The presidential candidate have not walked out of line. He has only expressed the feelings of many Nigerians that the date be put forward. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Buhari, have always allowed his officers to also exhibit what they feel that can be right. And he also listens to the preponderance of opinion in order to put his feet down. So the candidate have done what is right to echo the pains of many Nigerians, and I think we should not make a mole out of such statement. Let's move forward. The APC outdoor promotion and management is set to making sure that the popularity and campaign material of the party is taken to the nooks and crannies of every corner of this country, especially in Lagos State. And that is why we have created a structure at the ward level to make members participate in the distribution of campaign materials, especially posters and other insignia across the 777 wards that we have in Lagos State. And it is fake news for people to say that they've been debarred from putting out their campaign materials, and I stand to be corrected. If you go to MM1, between MM1, MM2, up to the toll gate, driving towards International Airport, and the PJ section, the private jet section, you see some banners hung along the street lightings. They are predominantly PDP. There's no APC presence there. If you go to major bridges like the Third Mainland Bridge, on the left side of it, you see PDP posters pasted. On the right side of it, you see the APC poster pasted. APC have not gone to deface any poster or any political insignia of any party. In fact, we have it on record, and it was distributed on social media, and it went viral, where a PDP coaster bus, branded coaster bus, put somebody on the road, and the person was tearing the poster of the APC presidential candidate. We didn't fake that. We didn't put that out, but it is there as evidence.
Okay, so concerning that, the governorship candidate, Jandor of the PDP, was here, and he said he had evidence that when he contacted Billboard owners, they returned their money after payment, and he showed us the receipt of payment. And what was said was that the government will not be happy with us if we take it. In fact, if you want to refute it, it's out there on media like Jandor to probably send the evidence of payment out so that we all see. And the fact that his money was returned, because he said it here when he was here. Secondly, I'd like to also ask you this. There's a response on this day that says, Atiku Tinubu currently designed has destroyed your Bullion van plan. So the question is it because of the Bullion van plan that Tinubu was saying all what he said yesterday? And tell us about, let's talk more about how Bullion vans were entering somebody's house on election day in 2019. Because you see, we've not gotten to the end of that Bullion van matter. if you correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure that there are polling units inside Bullion van. What was money needed for an election day? Was it for vote buying? Until today, we've not heard the last of that Bullion van matter, and they've also raised it now. What is this Bullion van plan that the PDP campaign is saying? And what really happened? What was those Bullion vans for? Did they just stroll to visit? Or what really happened with those Bullion vans in the last election? Because there were pictures and videos there.
Well, on Mr. Jandon's matter, I would say that statement is not correct. If he claimed to have paid, and I think that receipt should be authenticated. We should check the bank where that money was paid. We should check the account that he claimed that the money was paid. And from there, we pick it up to know what exactly happened. The LASA does not directly control the system. It only kind of making sure that the private sector that have come into play do what is needful. And if you know a lot about advertising, just like in your station, someone cannot just come in today, key in their promo, and start running. You have a key set system that you have in place. We should investigate that matter and we take it on from there. On the other question of the Bullion van or no Bullion van and all of that, I think that matter has been put to rest. There was no money in the Bullion van. The Bullion van that even came missed the address to have come there.
Okay.
It missed the address to have come there, and that was why the Bullion van was...
But why was Bullion van moving on election day? I thought there was supposed to be no movement.
No, it was not an election day. It was not. It was Rufai. It was. I was in that house on that very day.
Was the day before
it
election?
Was not an election.
So it was the day before election. But why was Bullion van moving
the
everywhere?
Bullion van missed the address to have come there.
Okay. I thought your presidential candidate had actually said that what's people's
said,
business with how he spends money.
I watched it. He said that jokingly.
Okay.
It was a joking statement.
So the Bullion van missed
the same way Mr. Dangote said that when he wanted to authenticate and get his mindset that truly he has money, he went to cash 1 million naira, brought it to his house, sat and looked at his money and returned it to the bank.
No, but I just want to get this right. You said the Bullion van missed its way to come into the place.
Yes.
But that place is not a known bank, or was it a bank? I just want to get to the root of it.
There are some companies that have high staff that pay their staff with cash, okay, right? That Bullion van missed his way there. Okay. And it was not invited by Ashwaju or anybody.
Okay, Comrade, Bullion vans have become unidentified moving objects or flying objects in Nigeria. That's fine. We hope this time around nobody will carry Bullion vans around. The CBN has even made that impossible. Nobody is going to carry any Bullion van, so which is fine. But let me ask you, to go back to this Jandon issue. Funke Akindele went to Ikosi fruit market yesterday to campaign. Okay, Lagos State government, your party is saying, oh, we'll provide level playing field in Lagos. But the People's Democratic Party is protesting that Funke Akindele, deputy governorship candidate of the PDP, was chased out of that market by hoodlums. And that's not the only place where they were chased out by hoodlums. And that as they go from ward to ward, they are not even allowed to put their campaign materials or distribute their campaign materials. So, whether you agree with that allegation or not, now that you have been given the responsibility to ensure smooth campaign by all stakeholders, by all interested parties in Lagos State, in all the wards, what are those strategies you are going to put in place, particularly to check these so-called hoodlums, who other political parties say are sympathetic to the APC?
Well, first and foremost, I want to say that you noting that those people who carried out quote and unquote alleged acts are not members of the APC. They are hoodlums, as said by you.
Acting as agents,
as
Adedino, the candidate of the PDP, claims for the APC.
Thank you. As hoodlums, as put forward by you, by the allegee. Now, the issue is this. If you are going on campaign, it is provided that you also reach out to security operatives. if you have any inclination that such thing can happen. So I would advise that Mrs. Akindele or Mr. Jandon or whoever, whenever they are going out on such political activity, should also do their mappings very well. And if they foresee any itch, they should reach out to security operatives to give them the security that they deserve. It is not the concern of the APC to help them organize how they will move. It is our concern for our party to organize our members will move. And if such thing happens, they should also move with the press and go with cameras. I've often said that, to get footages that will assist the security operative to get to the root of the matter.
All right. I want to ask around posters in Lagos State put up on government buildings. So some have accused your party, being the ruling party in Lagos State, of campaigning in structures that belong to the government and not, it belongs to the public. How would you respond to that? So, for instance, the Oshodi bus terminal in some local government areas and the likes. Should you be campaigning in what is accessible to all Lagosians and not a private property?
Well, this cut across all parties, all players.
I'm speaking to the APC now.
Yeah, it cut across all parties, all players. APC alone have not done that. And like you have said, it's a public property, not a private property. It's even easy for you to put your posters on public property, knowing fully well that the government will come to take it out at their own expense, and don't put it on private property, whereby the private person will have to burn the expenses of either repainting their wall or taking it off. But again, we are moving on to a state whereby we'll be able to conform and confine ourselves to some certain spots where these things can be put out. But again, if we go ahead and say XYZ cannot do this, the same you will say that, according to the information given to you, that we have prevented them from carrying out their civic responsibility to put out their information. But such thing will be corrected in future.
Okay. So I'll have to go back to the poster and outdoor before you also, by chance tell us the plans you have, for this new position.
Can I have a glass of water?
Yes, please. We'll get you a glass of water. And congratulations on your new position, I should say. I've not said that to you. And Happy New Year to you, my brother.
Happy New Year to you too.
Yes. So real quickly, the airport, you said you only saw posters around. They said most of those things were owned by FAN. That's what I just been made to understand. That what they're talking about is the billboards within the states that LASA has, convention over. And secondly, concerning this bullion van issue, there was a story, if you guess you can go and read it, in the Cable in 2019, February 23rd, 2019, that talked about your presidential candidate actually owning up to it and saying, yeah, it is my, that have I worked in government before? Have I stolen anybody's money? No. That if a bullion, because I'm responding to the fact that you said that the bullion van missed road, which a lot of people look and say, how can a bullion van miss road like that? We don't know GPS or anything. But he alluded and said, it is my money. And I'm going to even quote what he said here, where he was talking about the fact that, excuse me, I don't represent any agency of government. I have money to spend. If I have money, if I like, I can give it to people free of charge, as long as not to buy votes. So who are those watching my house and looking at bullion van? They must be mischief makers and all of that. So just to tackle the argument that you made that the bullion van missed road, he acknowledged it. He said, it's my money. I can do anything with it. And it's his money. So there's no scrutiny on him because it's his money, but the scrutiny is he might be for vote buying. What do you say about that?
Now, my response to you, which I had already done before, is that statement was made jokingly. Reporters met with him. I was there. I was standing not too far, met with him, and there were a lot of accusations. If you know Ashwadi very well, he loved to crack jokes and crack people up most times. And he said that statement. Not that he owns it. And all of that. We've seen pizza delivery van miss their road. We've seen high equipment van miss their road. We've even seen heavy military equipment. There was one that missed his road into Nigeria once, that the Nigerian government had to seize that armor tank and all of that. People commit human error. It was an human error by the people that were coming. And I've told you that it was a missed identity of address.
Okay. Your plans now for the directorate?
Our plans is to make sure, like we've said, working within the framework of the law, the rule of law, to making sure that we put all our posters, all our publicity materials across various wards. We are taking it to the nucleus where the votes are coming from, where the voters are coming from, and talking to them, showing them our programs without hurting anybody. And that will help us to increase our numbers. We're not just hitting major highway thinking that people will pass through there, just move away. We're using handbills. We're using new digital technologies like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook to reach people, even if you can't cross their fence. Reach them, educate them about our programs, and convincing them to vote for us. That is what we're doing basically.
No, I asked you a question earlier on. You were talking about police. Anybody who wants to campaign should get security details to provide protection. What is a guarantee, considering the fact that your party is also the sitting government in Lagos State, to ensure that other political parties can also distribute their pamphlets? They can also distribute their campaign materials in all these wards, and that their billboards will not be pulled down, and that APC will not dominate the Third Mainland Bridge and Ikorodu Road. The issue is about a level playing field. I know you, as the man who has been given the assignment, you want to adopt all kinds of strategies to make sure that it's only the APC. But how do we ensure that other political parties can also sell their message, advertise their message?
You must not be quick to forget, Mr. Abati, that I'm a civil rights person and I've been trained along that line. And everything that I will do, that the APC will do, will be within the framework of the rule of law. And we will not hinge out of that. I will give you a case study. If you go to Amuwo Odofin now, the preponderance of political material that you can see around of the PDP, and of course, the Labour Party. Nobody have restricted them. The APC also have sizable numbers there. But majorly, they are them. Nobody have gone to destroy it. That shows you how tolerant the APC is. If you go to Third Mainland, lots of it are for the PDP. You understand? So we are not competing along that line. But what we are focusing on is how to get our messaging down to the voters and not waste funds. Remember, the INEC also have a rule on the number of posters that you can do and the amount of money that you can expend. So we are being very wise not to shoot the borders.
Is not a good example to cite, because you know there is a resilient local hybrid voting population in Amuwo Odofin, where even if the APC government wants to stop people, it may not be so easy. But how about this allegation?
How come, sir?
How about this?
Why will it not be easy?
But you know it's a hybrid.
There's nothing hybrid. I was the chairman of it. APC is more popular there.
Okay.
I'm only telling you about the tolerance of the APC in any corner of Lagos.
Okay, if you say so. We all know the situation. But how about the allegation that the APC is colluding with INEC and stopping people who are not from Lagos State or who are non-Yoruba from collecting their PVCs in Lagos State? I mean, the allegation is out there. I'm not making it up.
I like the fact that you said this allegation. It's not factual. If it's fine.
People are not getting their PVCs.
People are getting it. If you look at again the INEC numbers that was put out, I will use Amuwo Odofin as a case study again. We rank among the first three highest that have got that, where people have gotten their voters cards and all of that. People are getting their voters card. The problem is INEC have fewer numbers of staff, right? And when you have a lot of people besieging that point at the same time, definitely the INEC people will have to do their thing methodically, and of course they have a set time for them to operate within that day. But we still have a window where people can go and collect their cards. And INEC have assured us that they will deploy more staff to carry out that sundry matter.
Yeah. I mean, just to buttress the point that Dr. Bati mentioned, someone had sent me her experience in Aja, where her name is obviously not Yoruba. So what she had mentioned is that when they go there, they tell them to come back and keep coming back because they're not registered in that area. I should think this should be of concern to your party, because beyond it being, this person could very well be supporting your party on election day. So what are moves by your party to ensure that Lagosians, at least in this case, get their PVCs, the support that you're willing to provide to INEC to ensure that Lagosians are not disenfranchised at the next elections?
You must understand that the APC does not control INEC. The APC does not have staff in INEC. The APC is also... in the next election. We have the interest, but we don't control INEC. INEC controls itself.
Yes.
So we are competing just like other parties to telling people to go and collect their PVCs. We can't do more than that.
I understand that. So the question I'm asking is that, is there anything, because you should be concerned, and at that level, I'm sure you have engagement with INEC. I'm not saying you should then go in and put your staff in there. Obviously, that's INEC's responsibility. But is that not a concern to your party, and what are they doing to engage with INEC to ensure that, at least in your state, in this state, they are able to get their PVCs?
Well, we cannot engage with INEC to do their matter. Once again, taking it from your last submission, the best we can do is use mass media like yourself. You just showed a clip of our campaign material. I watched it and all of that, to talk to people, go and get your PVC. Today I've spoken to a lot of people. That's why my voice is cracked and I was asking for water. And we are using the radio and other, medium streams to talk to people to go and get their PVCs. You see, there is this saying that early to wake, early to rise, if I'm very correct. Okay. I made it a mandamus for me to go to INEC at the initial time when the process started, because I knew that the crowd will not be much. A lot of people did not take that advantage. They went for the rush hour. And of course, during rush hour, you are going to have traffic. So what you have now is traffic of people trying to move into a tiny space in order to get their PVC out. So we will collectively talk to INEC. If INEC can still elongate the time a bit, or if INEC can work 24 hours. But again, I've often said this, even before I got this position or whatever position, that voters' registration should not be a seasonal thing. It should be an everyday thing. And the best gift you can give to any youth when they clock 18 is their voter's card. So INEC should move away from this seasonal activity.
No, but it's not seasonal.
It is seasonal.
After these elections, continuous voter registration starts again.
Well, maybe they are just doing that, but it is seasonal. Because what is done in higher climb, you can go to INEC office just as you go to your bank to collect your ATM card, even if you misplace it. Okay. Just fill the form, they will give you another one, and that is where we should move to.
Okay, so I want to come to somebody that left your party that has been speaking, and a lot of people have been leaving your party in droves. And
the same thing for the PDP. They are coming to APC.
Fair enough. As somebody left your party, a prominent person that led the directorate, we might be having a very soon, Haja Janatu, and she said a lot of things about your candidates. And she said he can't lift a cup of tea, he was aloof and all of that. What you're close to your candidates. All those things that were said, about your candidates, what's your read on them? About the fact that he can't leave a cup of tea, he's not coherent, other things like the slurry gaffes he makes, things like ulaba bala blue, and things like that. What does all of that mean to you?
Well, let me tell you something, that the weight of a broom far outweigh the weight of a cup of tea. You should know that very, very well as a realist. But
do you use the same nerves to lift a cup of tea on a broom?
The weight of a broom.
But do you use the same nerves to lift the cup of tea on a broom?
Whatever nerve you use, the weight of a broom is far outweigh the weight of a teacup. That you should know as a realist. Now, secondly, what do you expect for somebody that have left because of their own mundane interest that is not being met? Of course, they want to water you down castigate you, put aspersion, and put out fake news. It is very done. It is very well done in this kind of climb. Asiwaju was in Ogun State yesterday. He was dancing. Do you know the weight of agbada? That's why I don't even wear it. The weight of agbada alone. He wears agbada, dance with it, move around, and all of that.
What about
and Asiwaju is the only candidate. Go and fact check. That have gone on more campaigns, daily campaigns, engaging with people for at least 18 hours a day. 18 hours a day.
But what about the slurry speech, that people also talked about that is evident, statements like Ulaba. I think in Ondo State he was campaigning the other day. There were slurry speeches, the gaffes and everything that a lot of people
Let me tell you something.
About.
We've gotten to that spot. Let me tell you something, Rufai. There's something called swag. Right? I might want to increase my trend on the social media in order to have traction. I could use swag. Actually, only use swag in order to captivate and catch your attention, which he has achieved. Okay. So the more he uses the swag, it's a tactics. Okay. The more he uses those swags, the more you come in, and when you come in, he gives you his program to get those numbers.
Comrade,
those are swags.
Comrade, thank you very much. Okay, I get this point about swags. I will also learn how to swag on this program.
You will trend.
Please, I want you to go with a prayer point. These bullion vans that you say go to the wrong address, they miss their way. Please, this election cycle, drivers of bullion vans, please miss your way and come to my house and deliver what is inside. And please also help me pray that the banks should not come and challenge me that our bullion van missed your way to your house. Please let all bullion vans miss their way and come to my house.
Let me say this personally.
It's a prayer point.
Let me say this personally.
Say amen to it.
I can't say amen to it. You know why? No, wait, I will tell you. Even if a bullion van misses his way to your house and they mistakenly drop money in your house and that money is not yours, you'll be arrested for it.
Wow.
Just as if somebody dropped money into your account and the money is not yours and you spend it, you'll be told to return
bullion
it.
van that missed his way.
So that is why
they miss their way to
that is why I can't say amen to that, because I know the outcome of such process.
Okay, you brought up the issue about bullion vans not knowing their destinations. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.